Hello dear friends, I welcome you all to the channel Cooking Together in the Kitchen with Lilian. And today I would like to talk about this wonderful grain, buckwheat. Buckwheat. Where do I buy this buckwheat? Here in the United States, I buy it on Amazon. I know that pretty much you can buy on Amazon. You can buy pretty much anything on Amazon nowadays. But let's talk about buckwheat. What do you know about it? Have you seen buckwheat in your local grocery store? Probably if you go to Whole Foods, you may notice that there is some type of grain that looks kind of interesting, but we don't know what to do with it. You don't know what to do with it, and maybe you just heard that there is a buckwheat flour, and sometimes when you go somewhere in the pancake house, and they may offer to you a buckwheat pancakes, and that's how it looks. This is the grain. That's how it looks. And buckwheat, on the other hand, has very long and strong tradition in Russia. Um, as they say that every Russian has buckwheat taste from the very early childhood. Every Russian knows what buckwheat is, and buckwheat is one of the essential grains in Russia. What do Russians cook with buckwheat? They do cook porridges, hot porridge, and essentially you cook buckwheat like rice, literally the same amount of water, same proportion, same amount of water, and then you add butter, and that's your porridge. This is very delicious porridge. You add a little tiny bit of salt, no sugar, no nothing, because only a little bit of salt and butter. That's your porridge. What I'm going to cook today, I'm going to cook some kind of a version of pilaf with this one, because I'm going to use an onion and carrots. And also what I'm going to be using, I bought this pepper because right now it's season in California of these peppers. It's a little bit mild. It's not very spicy. It's on the mild side. I'm going to add this one. So I'm going to add tomato. I'm going to add this pepper. I'm going to use onion, one onion, and I'm going to use maybe 2 carrots. And first we are going to cook on the stove top buckwheat, and then I will be adding it into the Dutch oven. So this Dutch oven will go into this Dutch oven will go into the oven, because I'll be making those vegetables in the oven. Once the vegetables will go nice and smooth, I will add buckwheat into that, and the final 10 minutes of this meal, it will be getting ready in the oven. My oven is already set up at 450 Fahrenheit, and it's preheating, and by the time we are done with everything, I'm going to prepare, and then my pot, the Dutch oven, will go in the stove. I don't have any association with this Le Creuset, but this is my favorite Dutch or cast iron set of pots that I have. I love them, and and of course this is my favorite color, and I love cooking in this particular pot. So let's get ready, because I have everything. I'm going to slice onions, carrots, and pepper and tomato and send it into the oven, and I'm going to start boiling my buckwheat in another pot. First, I'm going to prepare buckwheat, and I'm going to pour. So probably I'm going to use a cup and a half of buckwheat, and now I'm going to wash it a little bit more. So you really rinse it very well. It's supposed to be clean. It's, again, the process of cooking buckwheat is pretty much the same as you would do with rice. So it's pretty much clean. Let me add some water. And since recently I have a very interesting measurement how much water to add. You pour water, you make sure that it's covered completely, then you stick your finger and it has to go till the first line on your finger. That means you have enough water for your buckwheat. And it goes on the stove top. It goes on the stove top. And first we started on high. And we add a little tiny bit of salt. Literally. Little tiny bit, because it's very easy to over salt it. Without salt completely you can't do it, but a little bit of salt you have to add. And now it's very crucial moment. It's also Dutch oven. It's the best way, the best pot to make your buckwheat. And the moment it starts boiling, comes to boil, you turn it all the way to the low, and then you cover it with the lid and let it sit for 20 minutes on very low, making sure it just cooking itself. And now it's a perfect time to, you never touch it again, you don't stir it, you let the process, the temperature to get inside the grain and do the magic. So we're going turning it to the low, lowest of the low. And now I'm bringing the lid, and for 20 minutes, at least when it's about 15 minutes into the process, you take a look at the process, how it's going, whether it's enough water, whether you have enough time left for all the water to being absorbed by the grain, the quality, how it is. But since we're going to add it to our oven prepared vegetables, that the consistency of our buckwheat is not going to be that important, because whatever moisture will remain unabsorbed, it will be more absorbed even more in the oven. So let's go, let's let it sip, and it's over here and it's doing a wonderful job, and it's going to cook on its own. Okay, meanwhile we are getting ready our Dutch oven, this pot, to be sent into the oven, and the oven is already waiting for this piece to go in. So we add my favorite avocado oil, then one onion, and again I am cutting it half circles. Then we'll do my pepper and my tomato. I add tomatoes pretty much everywhere. Again, this is my recipe. I haven't seen it anywhere. I think, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to add maybe half of this pepper. My knife is dull. Need to sharpen my knife. Wow. Okay, I think that's enough. This pepper, it's smells as if it's a little bit stronger than mild. We'll see. Okay, here is our carrot, my organic carrot. I got it today at the farmer's market. Some people just do it with the carrot and onion. Some make it just with the onion. Some people do it in the frying pan. Some people do it in the oven. So many people, so many recipes. We'll see how my recipe is going to come out. I think I'm going to use another carrot. And now I have everything ready and I'm sending it into the oven. Okay. And now it's time to see how our vegetables are doing and our buckwheat as well. So let me grab my mitten. Oops. Nice. Nice, nice. Never forget when you're working with this type of cooking that your pan is very hot. Always use protective gear. My special clothes, oven clothes. So we need to send it to the oven for a little while longer. Meanwhile, I'm going to actually add some salt. I'm not going to add pepper because the green pepper that I added seems to be kind of stronger than I wanted it to be. Okay, let it go back to the oven for a little bit longer. And let me take a look. Oh, that's beautiful. Our buckwheat. Let me show it to you. Let me bring it closer to you. Our buckwheat is actually almost ready. I think it is ready. Let me let me go. Yeah, there is no water, there is nothing. It's perfect. The buckwheat is ready. So I'm going to turn it off and we are waiting for the vegetables to get ready completely before I mix buckwheat and those vegetables. Let's get our vegetables out of the oven. Okay. I don't like carrot. It's turning out to be a little bit pale. Okay, so now what we are doing This is my buckwheat, perfect buckwheat. See, this is 2 cups of buckwheat, and that's how much of the kasha made with this. And right now I'm going to pour a little bit more of our oil, and I'm sending it into the oven for maybe another 10 minutes to brown it. So it's going to be for the further browning and further cooking. Cool. So 10 more minutes. Wow, that's so interesting how we are working with the stove. The stove is making all your work, all the work for you. That's wonderful. That's why I like this type of the food, of the cooking process, because the oven kind of does all the job. You don't have to stay and watch it constantly, because the stove oven is doing a wonderful job. Let's see how our buckwheat pilaf is doing. Look at this. That is the quality where I was after. It's supposed to brown like that. And now let's mix it. Let's stir and see how our vegetables are doing underneath. I definitely don't like carrots. They're way too yellow. Not my orange carrot. Oh, looks yummy. A little bit more. Let it sit another 10 minutes and it's going to be ready. Look at this. Look at this. It's so pretty. A little bit more. I think our pilaf is ready. Yes, it's ready. I'm going to cover it with the lid right now. And see, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I let it sit a little bit, kind of to absorb all the heat from the Dutch oven, from the cast iron of the pot, and sit it here until it's ready to be served. Let me serve a dish of this buckwheat. Let's see how it looks. Perfect. It's so perfect. Let's serve our buckwheat. Such a beautiful, such a beautiful, such a delicious and tasty, tasty dish, buckwheat. This is such a beautiful dish, beautiful dish. And this time we were making our buckwheat with carrots, onions, and mild pepper. And we are done with our buckwheat. This is our buckwheat, and it's a meal on its own, but it also could be garnish or side dish. But today we're going to this. I mean, if you are hungry, this is very satisfying. It's um, it's the highest satiety rate grains you can find, and also it's very nutritious. Highly recommend buckwheat. Don Pepas, do you want to try some buckwheat? Don Pepas? No? And thank you so much for being with me at the channel, cooking together with Lilian, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.